Hello and welcome to Shannon Gardens. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So today I thought I'd do something a little different and I wanted to go to the Atlanta Botanical Gardens Gainesville location and just check out some of the plants that they currently have blooming and get some ideas for landscaping, maybe new plants to add to the garden as we're getting into the fall planting season, and also take a look at their containers. I always like getting new ideas for containers as well and how to plant them and what to put in them. So I wanted to bring you guys along with me to check it out. All right, so let's head out. The first plant I noticed was this Plumbago auriculata, which I have Plumbago in my home garden and I love having it. And it had a little fun fact here that I didn't realize, which is that it has tiny sticky hooks at the base of the flower that can trap insects. And it says that scientists believe that they are related to another carnivorous plant, Drosera. They had this beautiful container that was surrounded all the way around. They had the false bird of paradise at the top, this beautiful firecracker flower, and then the yellow diplodenia. And they also had French marigolds and the Mizzou trailing red. And it was just a beautiful container that I wanted to highlight and show to you guys. They also have this Mexican petunia throughout the gardens, which I have as well in my own garden. It's a beautiful flower. I really enjoy having it. And I actually just recently did a video, which I'll link in the description if you care to take a look at that one. But these are beautiful flowers that in my zone 7B will bloom through November generally. And below that, they had rain lilies, which I actually just tried for the first time this year because I saw it at these gardens about a year ago. And I did have some luck with these and planting them from bulbs and having them bloom before the bunnies got to them. So those are lovely as well. Now next they have this firecracker bush, which do not have, but this is something I would really love to add to my garden. I can imagine that these would attract the hummingbirds and the color is just stunning. I thought the red was absolutely beautiful and really stood out. This German iris called Stellar Lights really stood out to me. It had a huge bloom and it had this beautiful deep purple color that I thought was gorgeous. Now, I believe that this is a lilac. I'm not 100% sure about that though. So if you do know, please make sure to put it in the comments. I'd really like help in identifying this and wanted to make sure to include it in this video. It was so pretty. These are the Aster tataricus. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And the variety is Jinde. Now, I cannot emphasize how tall these were. I looked it up and they grow 3 to 5 feet, but some of them were at least 6 feet tall. And I did read that these are good in zones 4 through 8 and bloom September and October. They are deer resistant and songbird friendly. So that was very interesting to learn and something I may be adding to my garden. So I was able to get my microphone to start working again while I was at the gardens and just in time because I was able to record these beautiful little falls that I wanted to show you guys. They're very peaceful and wanted to show you the plantings around the falls as well. Here's another container and I just had to show you guys, look at this plant. I believe that this is elephant ear and let me show you up close. It is just enormous. As you can see, they have it planted kind of toward the back here of the container and I'll try to show you guys down there, and they do have it staked in a couple of different places with these stakes, but it is just beautiful. Now I believe that this is referencing the name of that elephant ear. I'm not 100% sure about that, but dark star elephant's ear. And I just think that that is absolutely beautiful. They have several hydrangeas, Hydrangea paniculatas, which actually is designed to be able to handle sun more. Usually when you think of hydrangeas, you think of shade or mostly shade plants, but these actually can tolerate sun. And let me show you which kind this is, which is the little quick fire hydrangea. And just look, it is starting to turn to that dusty rose color. and it's just beautiful. Their garden phlox is bloomed as well, and one thing I really wanted to show you guys is how it's framed from beneath this tree here, and I just think that that is beautiful in the way that it is framed and planted. Let me back up to show you guys a little bit, but I just love the framing of that and how it is planted. Here's another pot where they have hibiscus in the back here. And then they have this pretty coleus, and I want to point out how the coloration ties in with the middle of the hibiscus here, if you can see that, and then see how this ties into that. It's just so pretty how it plays off of each other. And then they have the firecracker flower here. They have agave tucked back here as well. Let me show you the label that they had for this pot so you guys can see all of the different names specifically of the plants that they've added. Look at this beautiful fern. Look how brightly colored it is. That is just gorgeous, and they've got them tucked throughout the water feature here. I wish I could tell you guys what this plant is that I'm showing you here, but how neat is it that it's green on one side and then the underside is that beautiful orange color. So if you guys know what that is, please let me know, but oh my gosh, that is so pretty. Next, we have Georgia aster, and I just love these cute daisy-like white flowers. I thought the little patch of Georgia aster was so pretty, and evidently that is native to the area as well. Now here's another one where I am not 100% sure what this is. I think it could be beard tongue, but it was not marked, but I wanted to show you guys, and please share in the comments if you do know what it is. But how gorgeous is this flower? Here's another container, and I had to show you guys. I have never ever seen this before. This is called a polka dot begonia. I've never seen it. That is so neat. Oh my gosh, it is beautiful. What a striking container. I absolutely love that. Let me show you guys the tag so that you can get the correct name of this. But oh my goodness, that is just magnificent. Look at the leaves. Look at those dots. That is amazing. Now this is something that I just noticed, and I'm quite sure it was probably done on purpose, but look at the hydrangea paniculata. So it's got that distinct cone form, and then look at the plants right next to it that have the same type of form, and I just think that plays very, very nicely off of each other. And that's something to bear in mind when we are designing our yard and our landscape, is to keep things like that, like shape and form, as well as coloration in mind as well. So I ran across another sign that I wanted to show you guys, and this says, "Can you spot the difference between a lotus and a lily? Around occasionally raised pads and distinctive seed pods post-bloom come with the lotus, and the lily has notched pads flat on the surface of the water, and flowers also float low on the surface." And let me show you guys the lotus here, because I saw some just a bit earlier. I may have to go around to the other side. Oh, here we go. I'll try to zoom in here. So look at those seed pods, which is very cool. It almost looks like a watering wand. And then we have the lilies down here that are flat on the water. Look at this container. This looks to be filled with water from what I can tell, and it's got lots of different things here floating on the top. So the label here shows that they have Maui Gold elephant's ear, and I'll show that to you guys right here. Such a beautiful bright color. And then they have water snowflake and water poppies. This is a really, really unique container. Very, very pretty. So I wanted to show you guys just some of the beautiful plantings in general that they had around the garden. And I thought this little frog with its succulents was so neat and unique, starting in the entrance to the children's garden. So I'm not quite sure what this is because I don't see it labeled, but oh my gosh, it's very fuzzy. I hope you guys can see that. It is so neat. What a cool plant this is. I absolutely love this, and if I can figure out what it is, then I think this is something I will absolutely add to my garden. Just look at this plant. That is so cool. Here is another container where they have the larger plant placed more in the middle there, and then they have the trailing plant all around surrounding the middle. And so this is a giant dioon. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. And then Honeybell's Kufia below, which is very, very stunning. Look at the berries just covering what I believe is a viburnum. Look at all of these berries. That is just beautiful. And then to the right of that, a different species, I believe. It's got a darker leaf and darker berries, but covered in berries as well. Now this describes the zinnia crouching tiger. Says this award-winning zinnia cultivar evolves as it blooms. Newly opened flowers begin as single daisies, becoming denser and more full as they mature. And it says watch as their colors shift through shades of red, orange, and yellow. Just look at these, you guys. Beautiful. You have a more of a red one there. These are gorgeous. This was a big patch of flowers. I believe that these are in the verbena family, and they may be the blue porterweed, but I'm not sure about that. But what I wanted to point out is the hummingbirds were all over these plants, as well as this beautiful hummingbird moth. I just could not believe how gorgeous this was. So I had to show you guys this as well. It was unbelievable. I stood here for quite some time just observing all the wildlife. And as I was about to get in my car, I noticed this in a magnolia tree, which I'm not going to lie, it kind of freaked me out. So I quickly got on my way. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really enjoyed going to the botanical gardens and looking at all the different plants that they had, some that I'm familiar with, some that I'm not, and some that I'll definitely be adding to my garden. So thank you guys so much again. Please make sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, happy gardening and goodbye.